How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. We have now heard multiple times now Rob Gronkowski praise Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow, talking about how much he'd enjoy playing with this guy. When asked about, hey, if you could play with another quarterback in the league not named Tom Brady, he has brought up now 2 times how Joe Burrow would be that guy. Hinting at something, maybe. Question is, if you're the Bengals, would you sign a guy like Rob Gronkowski? Rob Gronkowski, obviously, other side of 30. He just came off another great season. I mean, he came off the year after the retirement where it took him a little bit to really get back into the swing of things in 2020. But in 2021, once again, 800 yards receiving, 12 games. Guy was on pace for 1,000 receiving yards in Tampa Bay, and he looked like the Gronk of old once again. The big question is, if you're the Bengals, first of all, there's 2 questions, really. First of all, how much is this guy going to want? You've seen his salary around, 8-9 million these last couple years still. The key again, though, is you gotta love the way contracts and salary cap works in the NFL. Still very confused by it. I'm gonna be completely honest. But his cap hit was $3 million last year. That's a big deal. And if the Bengals can get Gronkowski on a cap hit of $3 million, and hey, you go all in on it, I think. There are other questions underlying the Gronk signing, though. Injury's the big one. Gronk's obviously dealt with a lot of injuries throughout his career. There's no secret about it. And you're worried about that as he gets older, how healthy he's going to be. And you're worried about putting money into a guy like that and him not being on the field. But with that being said, again, I think if you get a team-friendly deal or he's signing you 2, 3, 4 million on a cap, you really can't afford much more than that. I wouldn't expect more than out of him or out of Uzomah. I don't think Uzomah's going to come out and give you a team-friendly. He might. You got to love CJ Uzomah. This guy just bleeded black and orange. He really did. But I think he's a guy that if he really gets 7 to 8 million a year, I think the Bengals avoid that. And I do think when you look at Gronk and you say, well, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, I really do like Thaddeus Moss. I know you ain't seen much about him yet, but I love the idea of a tight end who had chemistry with Joe Burrow at LSU. And I don't think you're really asking a lot out of the tight end position for the Bengals because you have 3 stud receivers. I think it's a lot different this year than last year because if you bring up and you bolster up that offensive line, things are going to look a lot differently. You ain't going to need the double tight end sets just for the pure fact that you need to protect the quarterback, first of all. So you might see more of your wideouts being used. You still want that big offensive threat in the red zone, and Gronkowski is more than that guy, though. You call it the Joe Burrow effect, though. And you got to put that on Uzomah, too, though. How does Uzomah look if he's not got Joe Burrow as his quarterback? But you call it the Joe Burrow effect because players are attracted to play for this team because you have a franchise quarterback. But when players that are good and have proven track records want to play for your team and they're willing to take a pay cut and they're willing to try to work around the salary cap for your team, I think you go all in on it. I really do. He gets hurt, he gets hurt. If you ain't got a big investment into it, it's not a big deal. Obviously, number 1 priority here, though, is the Bengals' offensive line. You better make sure you got the money shored up for that. You better have a plan in place for that. And hey, if Gronk doesn't sign instantly, I mean, this is a guy that you look at and I say, I think you want to shore up your offensive line first, see what else is out there. And if he's still sitting on the open market weeks in, and I feel like he's a guy that's going to do that. I really do, because he's a guy at his age and what he's done in his career. He's the kind of a person that you look at and say, hey, he's going to go he's going to retire or he's going to play for a good team. And he's going to pick and choose wisely. He's just not going to go chase the money somewhere. I don't get that out of Gronk. Not at this age. He's kind of made his money throughout his career. So I think this is a wait and see thing for the Bengals. It really is. You got to make sure everything else is shored up. And then if that time comes and you're sitting on a few extra million in cap and you can find a way to make this guy work, you absolutely chase him down. Love you guys' thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.